Hi everybody, I am Lady Stars on Fire. My real name is Michelle Espinosa. This is the weekly healing messages for June 24th through to July 2nd on the solar eclipse. Now, first off, because I'm getting this as a download on the day of the summer solstice, so for wherever you are in the world, Merry Solstice to you. Happy solstice. I hope that you are having a great solstice. But with that being said, like I said, this is a download that's coming directly in for me to give to you as the weekly healing messages for this coming week of June 24th all the way up to the day of the solar eclipse, July 2nd. I was trying to make sure I got all that out in my head right. Anyway, first off, I'm being told for some of you, this is a very, very pivotal, important, powerful week. It's leading us to the solar eclipse. It's leading us to the illumination of what this solar eclipse is capable of. And first off, Spirit is reminding me, honeys, you are not broken. For those of you who are feeling that everything is going wrong, or like you can't see through the darkness to find the light, no. You are not broken. You're just slightly bent and twisted, is all that they are saying. And they are saying, remember, darlings, you have a halo. Every single one of us have a halo. And your halo cannot be taken from you. No, it can't. You can accidentally put it in your pocket and misplace it, but it cannot be taken from you unless you choose to accidentally misplace it. And they are saying, grab your halos. Now, when I say that, they remind me. See, people hear the idea of the halo and they think of, the angel. Oh, she's an angel, or oh, he's an angel. They're innocent and sweet and pure. No. Angels are not seen this way. This is not what angels are. Angels are divine, yes, but they are also warriors. And the halo and the wings have something to do with that being a warrior. And they were reminding you that the halo is a crown. It is a crown that is given. Just like you have a crown chakra. But they are saying, reclaim your freaking crown. Reclaim your crown. Put it on and build the kingdom. Start to create the kingdom that you desire. Not the one you're stuck with. Not the one that you see around you. Not the one of the third dimension. Let me give you a little secret here. All of this ascension, all of this higher vibrational frequency, there really is a bigger purpose to it, bigger than all of our lives. It's truly about starting to raise that third vibrational frequency, third vibrational dimension into a higher dimension. So it's closer to the fourth dimension. And then the fourth dimension is closer to the fifth dimension. It's about raising the dimensions. I'm sorry, I thought I heard something from Spirit. It's about raising the higher dimensional frequency in general. It's about raising the vibrations of it so that what we know as the third dimension is a higher, happier, healthier vibration. And this is what they're saying. The crown is the halo. The halo is not saying you're innocent and pure. Hell no. It is part of your warrior spirit. And this is what they are saying. Go out. Find the fire that burns within your bones, honey. The fire that burns within your bones and pull it out of you. It's time to make an explosion. It's time to make an explosion and change that vibrational frequency and rise. But you must first realize, for some of you who are in a lower vibrational frequency, you're not broken. You're bent. And that's because you've misplaced your crown. Find it. Pick it up. Put it on. And then start to recreate your kingdom as you so see fit for it to be. Because until you do, it will not change. Now, with that being said, we still have the energies of Medusa here. And if you haven't watched any of my videos and you don't know who I'm talking about when I say Medusa, Medusa in astrology is Eris. She is still in that universal first house of Aries. And what Spirit is telling me is Don't be a sucker for Medusa. Medusa holds on to all of the strife, all of the rejection, all of the trouble and toil and strife and injustice that you've ever been served. Yes, you're probably viewing situations of it returning, and that's because Medusa's trying to turn you into the sucker and keep you exactly where you're at. I've said last week, this is about realizing where the injustice of Medusa in your own personal life has been served injusticely, more or less, and putting her to rest. You can't heal where the injustice has been done, but you have to move forward and you have to make changes accordingly, is what I'm being told. So don't be a sucker for Medusa right now. It's about putting her to rest, not working with her. And she's still in Aries with Chiron, the wounded healer, who can't heal her. So he's waiting for her to move so he can really start making changes within that universal first house for all of us. Our self-awareness, our identification, our view and our ID of how we see life in general. And that's because Medusa is there. She's pointing out those situations. Now, as far as astrology goes this week, astrology is kind of a joke. It's not a joke, but it's a joke. Whoa. I didn't put the car in park. I had it in reverse. But the thing is, the reason I say it's kind of a joke is because most astrologers are only going to be giving you what they see. See, and I always say Spirit points out and takes me into the Kuiper Belt and brings me into other important situations that most astrologers don't talk about. Because they're going to be talking about all of this other stuff, but it's not the important thing here. Their Spirit is reminding me, first off, the guardians of the poles, they're coming into illuminating. They're illuminating this week because they need you to acknowledge what you need to acknowledge before that solar eclipse. The guardians of the pole are exactly what they're called. Guardians of the pole. You don't get to go through that door during the ascensions of these eclipses if you are not doing your work. The guardians of the pole will not allow it. Okay? They will hold you back and make you wait for that Lion's Gate and work longer and harder on it. If you're already on point, then this starts to come in healthier and faster. First off, I am being told it's kind of like the warrior spirit. Like I said, feel the fire in your bones and start to make the explosion. I'm being told the warrior spirit within you is being told to get... How is the proper wording? I want to say to line up, but what I feel is like military line up. Like a military lineup. Like we're getting in order. We're getting set up, for marching is what I feel like I'm being given. Now, this is because of the guardians of the pole. The guardians of the pole, first off, Kokub is always in Leo. It never leaves Leo. Now you have Mars, you have Mercury, and you have Ura or Jera, which is just entered Leo. Or it will enter on July 1st, Mars will. The others are already in there. Don't forget, Mercury is in shadow, because it goes retrograde on the 7th. Okay? On July 7th. But as soon as they entered Leo, Kokub went into activation on working on them. This is why Mars, your inner warrior spirit, is so powerful right now. This is why your communication is so powerful right now. This is why sacrifice and commitment is so powerful right now. And the point blank is Kokub rules the universal 5th house, Leo. And that's also where your pursuit of pleasure is. How are you happy or unhappy in this life, and how can you create it to be so? Your inner warrior spirit is after fixing that. Mercury is trying to communicate with it because they're going to cross on top of each other and they're going to be having a conversation. Jura is your sacrifice and commitment it takes for you to find the pursuit of happiness, your pursuit of pleasure in all levels of what it is. Plus, it's also Leo, so it's the ruler of the kingdom. And if you can't rule your kingdom the way you want, why? That all depends on what kind of king or queen you are. I say this all the time. If you don't like your life, maybe you need to start being a better king or queen so that you can rule your life better. And this does have to do with cutting cords. Okay? This energy has a lot of conversation coming out, but you got to understand. See, everybody's going to be talking about the eclipse and that it's happening in Cancer as we come up to this energy. The sun is in Cancer right now, and that it's in opposition with Capricorn's. Pluto rules walls and boundaries. Saturn's rules walls and boundaries, and Pluto's death, decay, and destruction for renewal, rebirth, and regeneration. Oh yes, that is an incredibly powerful energy. But what they forget is Kokub and Polaris Star are the guardians of the pole, and darling, those two energies carry the energy of Venus, the energy of Sun, and the energy of Saturn. So you are illuminating, just in these two, you are illuminating, you are restricting or limiting what the rules, walls, and boundaries need to be, and you're extra sensitive about what it needs to be. They're also called the giants. Their energy is even more powerful, considering the idea of astrology, even more powerful than the sun itself. So you just gave a double emphasis on your rules, your walls, your boundaries, with extra sensitivity and illuminating energy coming directly out of Mars and directly out of Gemini. Gemini has Polaris Star there, and Venus is sitting right on top of it. Extra, extra, extra sensitivity, people. Sensitivity by Venus is not positive. It is not negative. As in, it sure as hell is not love. It can be. It's the charmer that creates love. But Venus is all about telling you what you love and why you love it, and what you hate and why you hate it. Why it hurts you. Why it has bothered you. Why it has caused you the resentment, why it has caused you the pain, why it works against everything you are vibrationally trying to achieve, and then why it does. Sitting on top of the Polaris Star, again, adding rules, walls, boundaries, and illumination to Venus's very energy. And it's in a T-square with Neptune, which is in retrograde. Oh, and don't forget, Lilith is there talking to you about your sexuality. And when I say sexuality, I don't mean just sex. I mean about how you feel about yourself, how secure you are about yourself. It's your inner belly dancer starting to rise and say that I believe in me. Okay? And it's in opposition with Jupiter. Not opposition. It's in a T-square with Jupiter, which is saying your higher self, your higher abundance, your higher knowledge is really fighting understanding this. Because in Jupiter is in Sagittarius, which is where I always say is where the higher self is. And let me remind you, Jupiter is in retrograde. Neptune is in retrograde. Pluto is in retrograde. Saturn is in retrograde. And what nobody else outside of Mercury getting ready to go retrograde, nobody else is going to be telling you is Ceres, which is also in Sagittarius with Jupiter. It's in retrograde. And you know what that is? That's your threefold theory. That's karmic energy. And that's also too close to home. And it's moving away from Jupiter, which is actually allowing Jupiter to expand without the threefold. But it won't be out of Sagittarius until, I think, mid-July. So you are still getting the threefold pulled into you with Jupiter's abundance. So it is a very positive thing, but it may not feel positive depending on where you are in your life, because the threefold, that too close to home energy, is coming in and making you see what the fuck you need to see so that you can relight the fire within your bones, so that you can have the power coming from Kokub and the Polaris stars to get on the right side of yourself and then create the kingdom as you so see fit for it to be and raise your vibrations. I love you guys. Bye.